For years I had a Pierce preamp, and the Pierce preamp had two channels, clean channel and distortion channel. But it had three inputs, distortion in, clean channel, and the input in the middle, you would be connected to both of them. So I could use the master volumes on each channel as how much of each one I got. There's also a channel switching foot switch jack, but I could cut one of the leads and make it so it just turned the distortion channel on and off, and the clean channel would never go off. So that's basically what we've put into a pedal with EBS. But the distortion channel stays on. There's a way to hook it up so you can turn the distortion on and off. Basically, it's a clean channel, and I tell people when they plug it in, just ignore the distortion completely, get your normal clean tone with your amp and your bass and everything, and just get it up there and get it and play as you normally would. Then ghost in with the other volume control a little bit or a lot, or of whatever frequency range or tonality or color of the distortion you want to ghost in. So you can bring into your normal bass tone, just bring in a little bit of distortion, and it doesn't affect your normal tone. Because that's kind of the key to distortion on bass. That's why the double amp thing for me always works. I always had this low end amp. If I was going to run it through distortion, that big sine wave that carries your super deep low end, once you start distorting it, it loses a lot of its impact. So you really need that clean, deep low end. So this pedal basically allows you to do that. It's got a little built-in compression too, because distortion is in an odd way, is a form of compression, because it prevents that sine wave from going past a point. But instead of turning it down like a compressor, it clips, it squares off, and that's where you get the sound of that buzz or distortion. So in a way, it's like compression. So in order to match your dynamics up with the clean tone and the distortion, there's a little compression built in. And I found that was true with my old Pierce before too. I would have to always do a little compression on the clean channel to get at the same dynamic range as the distortion to match them up. Because without it, sometimes some notes would be popping out and some notes wouldn't be popping out. So all the years with that Pierce preamp, which I still have and I still love, were kind of distilled into a pedal. It came out on the market, and a lot of guys that I don't know or never met just went onto YouTube and plugged it in and did a little demo of it, and they seemed to be extremely pleased with it. And it was incredibly successful for the company, so I'm really pleased that other players found it something useful for them. So there's a lot of variations you can get on it. You get not just the tone that I use, but a lot of other things you can do with it that are pretty interesting. And a lot of guys have taken to wiring it up in their own way, doing things with it I had no idea you could. So it's kind of interesting. It's getting tweaked out like crazy. There's a lot of websites where people are plugging in all kinds of different ways and using it in different ways, which I love to see some innovation. Same way I like to see them take their basses and do some different things to it. And it's what I did from the beginning, adding pickups and changing necks and stuff. So the EBS pedal has been really successful for them, and I'm really pleased that it's been useful for other players. And the whole Winery Dogs tour, that's what I use, the EBS pedal. And I got some great, really nice singy distortion tones and a lot of clean sound mixed in, which made everything, you could hear the notes I was playing really well, and I just saw the reviews and everybody was really pleased with the tone that I had. So I'm glad the EBS pedal worked out.